One thing I'd like to do, Elise, and I don't know if that was the end of your presentation, you're ready for questions, but I'd like to, Martin Erkla, who is the General Manager of Frontier Communications for Moscow-Pullman area, is here tonight, and I'd like him to make a comment too, because council may very well have questions for Martin. Would that be okay at this time? Martin, would you please come up and state your name and your position, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, and City staff. I'm Martin Erkla. I'm the General Manager for Frontier Communications. I have an office up at 509 South Howard here in town. And thank you for letting me give you some additional background. Frontier is very proud to be offering this program. To give you a little background, Frontier believes in a program that we call local engagement. Unlike most telecommunications, our company mandates their managers and employees to give back to the communities that we serve. And we do that in a variety of ways by serving on boards and committees, school boards, those kinds of things, by donating our time and money to various organizations and activities in the communities that we serve. And all that does make a difference. It makes a tremendous difference in the communities that we serve. But about a year ago, our CEO, Maggie Wilderotter, was attending a conference of other CEOs in Las Vegas, Nevada. And she got up and she spoke about stimulating local economies across the United States, not waiting for the government to do it, but trying to get private enterprise to be engaged in the communities that they serve. And she got up in front of a podium of about 100 or so CEOs and just started talking about this concept of America's best communities. And she basically explained the program the way Alyssa did today. And I got to see some of the video of that, and it was kind of interesting because when she got done speaking and asked for questions, all you could see in the audience is other CEOs turning to each other saying, "Why didn't we think of that?" And so the program got launched. One of our major partners and vendors is Dish Network. We went to them and said, "Hey, would you be willing to partner with us?" And so that's how the concept got born. We wanted to put some serious money in the pot so that communities could take a look at a long-term revitalization and not just a small project that's easily sustainable to a certain extent but doesn't really share in growing the vision of a community. And with up to $3 million, that's some serious money to be invested in the infrastructure, in the social fabric, those kinds of things for the betterment of the communities that Frontier serves. There has to be an economic stimulus part of that, but that's a very broad-based category. It can be such things as diverse as teaching the underprivileged how to write resumes or how to make a job offer, how to go through interviews, all the way up to what we're talking about tonight is trying to really jumpstart the airport expansion. And when the program was first laid out to me last July, this is the first thing I thought of was the need for the airport expansion. I'm fortunate to be able to serve on the Latah Economic Development Council, and that's our charter is to help grow the economy on the Palouse, and that the airport is absolutely vital to that. You look at some of the things that besides just passenger transport that's important to us, but MedStar is there. We've got a variety of businesses. You look at the universities and the money that their sports and athletic teams and their professors and their researchers bring into this community, the restaurants, the motels, those kinds of things. So an airport is one of those basic pieces of infrastructure that's absolutely vital to a growing and vibrant community. So when I heard about this program, I started talking to a few people and said, what do you think? First off, is this something that could be of interest to the citizens of the Palouse? And what do you think about going after the airport expansion? I've sat in these chambers and listened to some of the support and some of the discussions about how do we fund that. And with some money, if we can get into the final rounds of the America's Best Community, then Frontier can help offset some of that economic problem that we're going to have trying to fund this. So I'm excited about it. I look around the Palouse, I see two major universities, I see two vibrant communities, I see two counties, I see two states all committed to trying to make the airport thrive. That's a unique story across the United States. You take that story and then you leverage all the world-class resources we have here. You look at the chambers and the videos that we make for trying to entice people to come here and spend some time with us. You look at the universities that have just metrics and studies and assets and resources to help really build our application going forward with this thing. And I'm here to tell you, as of this morning, there's about 145 communities out of roughly 300 that qualify in the Frontier footprint across our serving area. We've got an excellent chance of going a long ways in this contest. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that the $35,000, the $100,000, and then the $1 million, $2 million, or $3 million is all accumulative, so that if you get one prize and you make it to the next level, you get to kind of boost your points, if you will, and go from there. When we get to the final 3 rounds, Frontier steps aside and we have an independent panel that's going to be listening to the applications and then judging them based on their merits. So Frontier doesn't have a horse in this race. We'll step back and let an independent panel make the final decision. And also about a month ago, we felt we needed to have a national spokesman. And so we were looking around trying to find somebody that we felt could really espouse the virtues of Frontier and our mission statement and our values. And we were able to get Vince Gill, the country and western singer, to sign on. So he's fully endorsed the program, and you'll see some things in the media talking about his involvement with the program as well. Since we partnered with Dish Network, Coag Bank has signed on. They're going to kick some money into the pot. The Cisco company is talking about providing the winners along the way with some of their products, so that will help build some of the infrastructure and empower those that make it to the next rounds. And so there's a lot of really neat things happening here. And to Alyssa's point about how do you make a video with GoPro raw footage, GoPro, that corporation, has decided that they'll kick in some cameras and stuff as well. So it's a way of capturing some excitement. It's a way of looking at communities and have them really start looking at long-term vision instead of just a short-term 6 months, 1 year, 2 year kind of a program. Our hope is that, well, I have several hopes. Personally, I don't see any way the Palouse can't win. Okay, we've got it here. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna give it everything we got, and I'll assist in the process as much as I can. But I would really like to see Frontier continue this program in the future. I think it really has some value to not only the companies, the communities that we serve, but also I think it can act as a model for other private industry to do the same thing, to give back to those communities that companies serve. So that's kind of an off-the-cuff talk about ABC. I would entertain any questions if you may have any.
Okay, questions for Morton? Well,
Thank
thank you for that presentation, Martin. Okay, Lisa, I'll turn it back over to you.
So uniquely today, when I was looking for a picture of to put with this presentation, I looked up the website for the environmental assessment, and on the on the runway landing is an airplane that has the name Frontier on the side of it, and I'm like, okay, when did Frontier land here? But I think it was just, a coincidence in the process here, but that was quite unique to it. So I don't know if it was a private chartered Frontier plane or what, but here we are looking to Frontier to help us with this project, and the name of their plane, the name of their business is on a plane sitting on the runway of the airport. So anyhow. We have a motion before you tonight, and that is approve the City of Moscow to act as the lead agency in preparing the submittal information for the ABC Prize campaign application and to coordinate the contest activities for the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport.
I'd make that motion.
Okay, John made the motion,
I would be happy to second it.
and Art made a second. So what we have here is a motion to approve the City of Moscow act as the lead agency in preparing the submittal information on the ABC Prize contest campaign application and to coordinate the contest activities for the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport, or take such action deemed appropriate, which is approving the application. Motion made by John, second by Art. You guys, any discussion before we vote on this thing? Walter?
Yeah, I will vote for this, but a question for Gary. Have you done any cost analysis of what this is going to cost the city to work our way through this?
Actually, we've not. Elisa, we've talked about the time it will take to go into it. City of Pullman is committed to doing as much as they can as well. But no, I don't have any hard numbers for you. Elisa indicated that it will take some time to do so. Did you have your hours you estimated?
I estimated this first round to be somewhere around 40 hours to prepare the application.
And looking at it, one of the good things about this contest as well, it does have a lot of upside, but also you'll know if you made the first round within 8 weeks. So if we make it, great. If we don't, we'll know it pretty quickly.
And I'm really hoping the next time I'm here to talk to you about this will be shortly after April 29th, telling you that we're one of the 50 finalists and our steps from there. So thank you.
Dan, you had?
Yeah, I guess, so after that 8-week period, that's when you'll put your team together that you'd mentioned earlier. So, and then, we talk about how we're the lead agency, but is the chamber I guess, what is their title? As it said, you had to have a nonprofit they'll become the lead agency then, or how does that?
The application requires that it's submitted by the lead agency, which is the chamber. And then it has point of contacts. So at this time being, Gina and I are listed in there as point of contact. We're not exactly sure what the process will be like once the first 50 finalists come together, but it will be a collaborative then project where the chambers will come together, the airport. Mead and Hunt, who are the consultants for the airport, have offered to support us in any way we need. And EMSI has also offered to provide us data that we need. And so I see it being as a collaborative project. I'm not quite sure what type of application or information it will be, a community revitalization plan, but the parameters on how that needs to be put together, I'm not quite sure of yet.
And to answer your question, Dan, there are some tax ramifications in how the money is awarded, and so one of the rules is that the money will be passed through to a 501c3 organization, which the chamber has agreed to do, and then they can disperse it from there. So,
Thank you.
We did also think about there could be some tax implications for the chamber, and we will plan for that ahead of time with an audit or whatever is needed with that amount of money. If we are to go the full way, I think it would be right around $4 million, or what did we decide, $3,135,000? So that's the goal. Thank you.
Well, with that, I guess I will start the roll with Walter.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Okay, we got a 6-0 to move forward with this, and it'll be kind of exciting to see. One thing about it, we're going to know in 60 days where we sit. So I hope you do report back. That first council meeting in May would be terrific to see where we sit on this. So thank you for all the hard work. Thank you, Martin Erkla, as well as our chamber. And this is a collaborative effort amongst a bunch of folks. Nobody can do anything singularly, and this is the sort of thing that I really like to see as communities get together. And as a region, this is what we're trying to achieve anyway. So thank you very much, all.